Yeah, I'm on my weird way. Get it like Toby. You on my way, don't get cozy. Give me my trophy. Yeah, I had to pray. I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot. I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe. Yeah, I'm on my weird way. Get it like Toby. You on my way, don't get cozy. Give me my trophies. Yeah, I had to pray. I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot. I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe. Yeah, killing my verses, living my purpose. Yeah, healing my burdens, giving my service. Yeah, I had to pray, I had to kill off the old me. Yeah, had to focus a lot, I'ma shoot my shot, Kobe.
Yo, what's up, and welcome to another episode of Unnamed Sports Show right here on Gorilla Cross Radio, streaming live on GorillaCross.com, UnnamedSportsShow.com, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, man. We are everywhere. I'm your host, Quan59, and we have another big show for you today. A lot of sports to talk about.
Yes.
A lot of good stuff happening in the world of sports. Got my man Justin Time, Josh Williams in the building. What's good?
Man, I'm good. You know, long weekend, long weekend.
Yeah.
Basketball, AAU back in Vegas. So my little ladies are doing their best, and my voice is thrashed. So it was a good weekend.
Your voice sounds the same to me. I know you don't think so, but it does. Your voice always sounds that bad.
Hater. Anyway.
No, it sounds fine. It sounds fine. Sounds normal, Joshua. And we do have our special guest co-host in the building. She will be with us once a month. Who knows? Whenever she wants to be in the studio.
Whenever her schedule
she
allows.
could be here. Exactly. But we do have one of the ladies of Unnamed. He hates that name.
I don't mind it. That one's not as bad. I can deal with it.
We have Bree Miranda in the building. What's good?
Thank you for having me.
How you doing, Miss Bree?
Happy to be here. Just got back from LA yesterday. Worked on a couple projects down there. Had a photo shoot. Did some spoken word in a studio. And now I'm here in your studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
From LA to Vegas.
And back again.
Yeah.
You go to LA a lot?
I used to go once a month. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've kind of cut back on it a little bit because I've been in Hawaii a lot recently. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang, Hawaii, LA.
Just moving around.
Next to water.
She likes
always near some water.
That's good.
Yeah.
As well she should be.
She is the owner of Legendary Empowerment. Real quick, talk about that. What is Legendary Empowerment? I was going to wear my shirt today, but it's at home. I've had it at the studio ever since she gave it to me.
Really?
I've worn it a couple times. I wore it on Speak Life Radio 2 weeks ago. And I was going to wear it today, and it's at the house.
See, mine has made it into the rotation and was just coming out of the wash machine.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, well, at least you guys are wearing them, so that's cool. I'm flattered.
I mean, it's a good shirt. It looks
It's
dope,
very
and
comfortable.
you know,
Okay, that's
just
a
the
fire
material's
shirt, like-
dope too. You know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Legendary is about empowering oneself to live your best life, basically, and tapping into the innate magic that we all already have. And you know, my love and nostalgia is what the aesthetic of the brand is, but
Yeah.
the message of the brand has always been, you know, like community empowerment, self-empowerment, and knowing that everything's already been right there. You just gotta tap into it.
I like
Yeah.
that. So are you gonna be wearing these different sports legend themed shirts and different things each time you come in?
I don't know. I'm gonna try.
All right, I like it. We're gonna have to figure
I'll wear
this
my
out.
baseball jacket next time.
All right, there you go. We have a lot of sports to talk about. A lot happening in the UFC, a lot happening in the NBA, NHL. It's playoff time, Josh. I'm
Yes.
excited.
Yes,
A
I am.
lot going on in all these sports. And like I said, man, I've been paying attention more to baseball now that I have 4 TVs up. It could be the 4th thing on the TV
It could be the
in the
4th thing.
studio, and I'm watching.
hate
You know,
you.
so I've been paying a little more attention to baseball. But yeah, man, what are we jumping into first?
Miss Bree, well, the floor is yours.
So LeBron has been injured a couple times recently on his ankle, right? And it's been said that, you know, he feels like he may not be 100% again. What do you guys think about that?
I think it completely changes the look of both the playoffs as well as the Lakers' championship aspirations.
And he did come back. He played the last 2 games, but last night he kind of hurt the ankle. He did a spinning layup, kind of landed on one of the Pelicans' feet.
Yeah.
But he got up pretty quick. And then he was kind of laughing. You know, he went to the locker room for about a minute and a half. I don't even think he went all the way back.
Yeah.
Went to the tunnel.
He went to the tunnel.
Came back out and, you know, was laughing on the sidelines. So I don't think it's a big deal, but it's, you know, we'll see how he feels today, I guess.
It's there. I mean,
it's something he's going to have to think about throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, and especially as these games get more intense and more serious, you know, if he's not 100, now granted, 80% of LeBron is still better than 90% of the league, but they're going to have a tougher road. That being said, you know, if they're able to get that 8 seed and they have to play, you know, the number 1 seed in the league right now, who is still Utah?
Utah, yeah.
Still Utah. If you beat Utah in the first round, then you essentially are the 1 seed and you have a 1 seed ride to the finals. So I think they're in a better shot to make it if they end up where they are right now, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Same thing. I don't think the injury was that big of a deal, so I think he'll be fine. But it is something you're gonna have to think about this whole time. I think LeBron took more time off than he needed to heal the ankle initially. He came back for a few games, went out again because he had some soreness. But I think it's one of those things. Let me just play a couple games to get back into the groove of things, and then sit out some more, because really this season for the Lakers is all about the playoffs. They didn't care about the regular season. They just won a championship. 71 days later, had to be back in camp. So I knew they were going to take more time off this year. You know, the star players. Anthony Davis got hurt. He took a lot more time off than he needed to for that injury.
That last injury was a joke, though. I fall back and it looked like I broke my back on the scoreboard.
I mean, he always does that.
You got to get better with that.
He's a scary guy to watch, though, as a fan. No, really.
Yeah.
Every time he goes up, because he goes up very awkward all the time. And so it always looks like anytime he goes up,
something
is that
going
to happen? So it's not a good feeling dealing with that with him. But
yeah,
it's all good, man.
All right. Well, look, I have another question that came up over the weekend. Kyrie saying that he doesn't care about basketball right now. He's focusing on what's going on around the world, both the situation in Israel and Palestine, and those types of things. Do you feel like he is going to be a distraction in the playoffs in any kind of way? So
Kyrie still, he had a crazy stat line this year where he averaged 90% free throws, 50% from the field, and 40% from three, which not many people have ever done that. So his game's still showing he's there. He didn't say basketball doesn't matter. He said it's not the most important thing in the world. So
I misspoke.
But a lot of people took it that way, and the headlines were pretty much saying that.
Basketball don't matter.
I think that's what they do to Kyrie a lot. He's speaking out about things that he wants to speak out about. I don't think it's a big deal what he said after I heard what he said, because how many of us think that our job is the most important thing? There's other things going on in the world, like my job. I'm going to do my job while I'm here, but that's not the most important thing on my mind.
I don't think about my job at home.
Exactly. But when I'm working,
it's my business.
Exactly. But when I'm working, I'm going to be here to do my job. And I feel like that's where Kyrie's at. As long as he's not doing anything like sitting out playoff games to protest something going on in the Middle East,
well,
that's when it becomes the distraction. So could it become one?
Yeah.
It could.
Yeah.
Will it? I don't think it will. I hope it won't.
Yeah.
But we don't know with Kyrie, because he does do stuff like this often, where he wants to be a voice. And here's my problem with Kyrie, though. He wants to be a voice, but he's only like, it seems to be only the trendy topics that he's a voice for, and then it fades away.
Well, I'll say this. I didn't realize that he is, I don't know if he is Muslim.
He's newly converted. Newly converted.
Okay.
Like a week and a half ago.
Okay. Well, still.
Whenever. I mean,
he went through Ramadan and the whole deal, but I understand him. I understand him being on this side of the conversation a little bit more, being someone that practices Islam.
But that's the thing too. I mean, he was a native doing his rituals a couple months ago, so he's going through a lot of different transitions.
He is a man of the world. I'll say that.
And that's kind of he's searching for something, and obviously it kind of looks like that on the inside. What's he searching for? But I think we've all been there, right?
You said Kaylani. Hey, listen. That may or may not be the right move for him. That may or may not be the move, Bree. What do you think about that, Bree? What do you think went wrong there?
I don't know. The age, maybe. They're young.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what do you think just about the distractions and you know, you working and being in jobs? Is your job the most important thing, or is it okay to say like there's other important things in life?
There's definitely other important things. Like for me personally, I feel like being present in the moment and enjoying, you know, just being present in the world and, you know, being present right here exactly. But the job is my bread and butter, you know what I mean? That's what pays my bills and takes care of my family.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But do you say things like that at work? Like, do you go to work and be like, I don't care about being here.
Never.
I'm really thinking about this over here.
Never.
So that's kind of the other side.
But he
of
didn't
it,
say
too.
I don't care. That's the whole thing. He said there's more important things. So could you be at work and well, I mean, and you work in
healthcare, yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
would you say that, especially if there's patients around saying like,
These patients
wait,
don't matter.
I hope it's important to you today.
No, I wouldn't. But he's also in a different tax bracket than I am. So, I mean, like, he can probably get away with saying that a little bit. But, yeah, no. I mean, I love what I do. Would I love to, like, have more time off? Sure, of course. But I do love my career and taking care of my patients. Like, I'm never in there like, oh, God, dreading taking care of this person, you know?
I got to make these
That's
shirts.
what I signed up for, you know? and then creative projects too, you know, like the legendary stuff. That's, even though it's tiring being on set for a long time, this stuff never feels like work to me.
Yeah.
Like, I love it.
And that's the thing, and that's how I feel basketball would feel to somebody that grew up loving basketball, right?
Yeah.
You know, being Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
To me, being self-employed, I don't feel like I work. Same thing with your legendary. I don't feel like I work anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting paid to do stuff I was doing for free before, and now I'm getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
And so, to me, I'm not gonna complain about that in a way and say like, oh, there's better things, because like this to me is a blessing.
Yeah.
These are things I've prayed for to get to here, and then when you get there, then you still complain about, well, this is. So I feel like with Kyrie, like your dream and your prayers were probably like, I want to be in the NBA one day, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're here, and now you're sitting like this all the time. Now you're just like,
malcontent.
I just want to, and you're not happy being somewhere where millions of kids would want to be, right?
Yeah.
Millions of kids, not only being in the NBA, but being a top 10 or 20 player in the NBA.
And having your own shoe.
All that stuff. I mean,
Like-
he has a lot, and to me, it looks like he's not grateful. Yeah, there's other things going on, but are we always looking at what the bad things? Or are we be able to look inside and see, like, look, there's a lot of good things that I have and that are going on in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. I
I think that's the ultimate, right? To get paid to do what you love.
It does. It's not. It's
and
not.
work
It's
is-
that's the greatest gift you can give to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something that you're passionate about, because then it's like, well, I'm not really, as Quan said, you're not really working. You're now, I'm working for myself.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's definitely 24/7 what Quan does. Like you know what I mean? Like it never stops, but it's something you love, so you enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't mind doing something
And I wouldn't
24/7
mind-
if you love doing it. If it's a hobby that turns into a job.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind being paid to stay in shape. Like, sign me up.
Oh my God. Goodness gracious, to be an actor and just like, oh yeah, I gotta get in shape for this role.
I'm gonna pay for your trainer,
Somebody come train me for
your chef,
4 months.
and you're gonna get paid to do the acting. Dope.
A little bit easier to work out when you are your business. Like, yeah, this body is my business. Like, I have to be right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what we got next?
We got next. I believe it was NHL. Yeah, the NHL. We have. There's a new. Do we think that there's gonna be a new champion in the NHL? Islanders, Knights, Leafs, all have a solid shot at making it. What do you guys think?
What do you think, Quan? You're Knight. I
You
mean,
know
you're
what I think.
you're a Knights fan, so you know right now you're only down 0-1. It's not the end of the world. The sky is not falling. Petrangelo does not need to be run out of the stadium or run out of town.
Get out of there.
No, okay,
He
all right.
hasn't done a lot.
Okay.
He really hasn't all year. Have you watched him?
I have not. I have not. I don't know.
Listen, he's decent, but everything we gave up
Yeah.
for him, he's not doing much more than what Nate Schmidt would have been doing anyways. And he gave up the puck yesterday to lose us that game.
I have to see the play again because, like I said,
He didn't clear very well, which I think he got hit, but he seemed very lackadaisical on the clearing of the puck.
Yeah.
And those turnovers, Fleury was working very hard yesterday because the defense just, wasn't there. And for Minnesota, their defense was all over the place.
Yeah.
On every shot.
The goal, I'll say the goal was more of I told you yesterday, these playoff games, it's not about pretty goals. It's about the ugly, gritty goals that are just, it's a deflection.
Yeah.
It's this, because the goalies, everyone is so locked in that it very seldomly comes down to just a pretty pass or, it was a great, perfect play. When it gets to overtime, those things very rarely happen. It is like literally the goalie had 17 people in front of him and it's not his fault.
This is a different NHL season because our teams were playing the same team 8 or 9 times.
Yes.
You're only playing a few teams.
You don't really know who's who. That's why when people are saying like
Minnesota
the Leafs,
actually played us really well. They had the best record against us than any other team.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So it's a 2-7 matchup, and
Oh wow, I didn't realize that. Okay. I mean, to me, it's this. When people start saying, "Hey, the Leafs look good. The Leafs are gonna win." The Leafs have been playing the Oilers, the Jets, and the Canucks. Like they have very few. They have in the Senators. Like they have very few people to actually play against that you actually can rate them against.
Yeah.
So Austin Matthews leading the league in scoring, getting the Rocket Richard Award, all those things. When it gets out of the first and second round, these things aren't going to matter anymore. So, I mean, for me, I'm very interested to see kind of the end of the road. Like the Leafs might make it further than normal because they're continuing to play the same people. But when it comes down to it, I don't think they have a shot. So.
All right. And your team won in overtime. The first 3 games of the playoffs were all overtime games, which was very exciting.
Well, it's normal. That's
a lot of overtime in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure there was another game last night that I didn't watch.
I didn't catch it. I'm not sure.
But yeah, it's fun having hockey back. So the Knights, I believe, had like 9,000.
Yeah,
in the arena, and you could hear it. I mean, it sounded
normal. Close.
Better than last year where they had bad graphics and NHL didn't do a great job in the bubble.
They weren't
making
prepared.
it look well. NBA did a way better job in their bubble, but I don't know, man. I mean, going down 0-1 at home when you already struggle in Minnesota for the Golden Knights, that's rough. So you have to win tomorrow night.
Yeah, just don't go down 0-2.
You don't want to go 0-2 going to Minnesota, but Knights, a lot of people are picking them to win it all. So we'll see what's up with that.
Yeah.
Marc-Andre Fleury at his age, man, still looking great. So greatness. Your goaltender got hurt early.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
and you're already down a goaltender. You gave up Holtby in the offseason.
Yeah.
You picked up Lundqvist. He had a heart attack.
Hey, it was a heart condition.
Heart condition.
He had an irregular heartbeat. He had to shut it down.
All right.
We got Craig Anderson, who was the backup's backup, but he's 40 years old and had plenty of experience. So we'll see.
All right, real quick, we do have a phone call. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Kevin from Chicago.
Kevin
talk
from
about
Chicago.
NBA MVP because
NBA MVP, which is good to talk about because that was on the subject today, so we will jump into that. Kevin, who's your MVP of this NBA? Because I already know who you're going to say.
Jokic, Big Honey, Joker. I got Jokic because he's been the most consistent. He's carried his team to a 3rd seed. He's put up amazing stats. He's finishing top 5 rebounds, assists, and points, which is only the 3rd time it's ever been done. And it seems like everybody wants to crown someone else. Now, Steph Curry. You hear LeBron James come out. What does he say? Well, I think Steph Curry should be the MVP. And someone asked him why. He said, well, he's from Ohio like me, and he's carried his team to an 8th seed. It's disrespectful at this point. It's become disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful.
Wait a minute.
It's not disrespectful. Jokic has had a great year.
Great year.
carried his team to the 3rd seed, which they should be the 4th seed, but the Clippers don't want to see the Lakers anytime soon, so they definitely tanked the end of the year to get out of the 3rd spot. I agree. Jokic has had a great year. I feel like they were crowning Jokic in the middle of the season as MVP, and that's why everybody's been stuck on him being the MVP. Steph Curry had, a lot of players get injured. He was hurt at the beginning too. Klay Thompson went out.
Klay Thompson.
He didn't even play at the beginning of the year. Steph Curry led the league in points per game, which
went on a tear about of a month of averaging close to 40 a game.
Yeah, shooting threes like nobody. Yeah, that's fine, but does that not make him the MVP because he has a horrible team? Well, name any good players on the Golden State Warriors right now. Draymond Green sits out most of the time. He has a lot of young players on that team. Denver is definitely a better team. If you switch those guys out and you put Steph on Denver and Jokic on Golden State, it would probably be switched the opposite way. So you can't just say, and I hate that they do that in the NBA, if your team has a higher seed, you should be the MVP. Oh. That doesn't make sense to me. Steph Curry is the MVP of this league because a couple months ago, Golden State looked like they weren't even close to being in the playoff hunt. And now they got to the 8th seed. They're most likely going to lose to the Lakers in the playing game and then beat 9 or 10, whoever wins that playing game. So they'll still be number 8. And they're going to beat the Utah Jazz in the first round of the playoffs because they can't hold Steph Curry.
I'll say this before Kevin jumps back in. Remember, the term is most valuable player, not the best player on the best team. And the NBA, I'd say outside of baseball, baseball is probably the one organization that does MVP the best, because when you look at Trout or you look at those type of guys that have a great season and they are the most important to their team, they have a chance to win. The NBA very rarely, when you think about it, really just Russell Westbrook over the last decade or more has been MVP of a bad team where it's like he was just that dope that he became the MVP.
Well, he's another one that should be right up there because he averaged a triple-double again.
Yeah, and
no one else in the league did
close.
that.
It wasn't even close.
And he's on a bad team. He has one other good player that's been hurt on and off, probably missed 20 games.
20 games.
Probably
easily.
missed 20 games in Bradley Beal. And there's no one else on that team that you could say is a solid NBA player.
We have solid.
Not solid.
We have solid.
Not solid.
We don't have good. It's different.
Okay.
Russell Westbrook got penalized for averaging a triple-double before. Yeah. And so now he does it so easily that now he's not even in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
And him and Steph Curry should be right up there with Jokic. Jokic has had a great season, not taking anything away from him. I personally would give it to Steph over Jokic.
Look, I'll say this. After Murray going out in the Nuggets, because I thought the Nuggets were going to fall apart. So for the Nuggets not to have fallen apart, it definitely gives Jokic votes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Murray definitely would have probably taken votes away. You know what I mean? Just because of they're both great players on a great team. So I hear you, Kevin. I'm not fighting you on it. If he won it, that would be great. He'd be probably the second foreign player to win outside of Dirk. So, if that happens, I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah. And Kobe's from Italy.
Okay, but that's my point. Is people talk about injuries, they talk about carrying teams. Jokic carried this Denver Nuggets team. They got Facundo Campazzo as the starting point guard right now. They had Jamal Murray went down, Monte Morris went down, PJ Dozier went down, and they got people like Facundo Campazzo as a starting point guard. You got some dude named Shaq Harrison. He's the other backup point guard playing. Acting like this Denver Nuggets team is some stacked team.
Whoa.
Team's trash.
Good. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Team is trash.
Don't do that.
Rivers.
Don't do that. Keep naming people on Denver.
Porter Jr. is the only bright spot.
Okay, that's
a pretty good bright spot.
That's more than a bright spot. Keep going. Go ahead. Keep naming people. Because you always do that. You're very.
You got Aaron Gordon too.
Thank you.
Aaron Gordon's been balling out ever since he got traded. He's been balling out since he got traded.
Aaron Gordon's trash.
That's a former All-Star. Stop it. Go ahead.
He's never been an All-Star.
He has.
He can't shoot. He can't shoot the ball.
Aaron Gordon from Orlando?
Yeah.
No.
As a backup?
He's never been an All-Star.
Threes. I've been seeing him. Every time he shoots the ball, he's breaking it.
Hey,
breaking
don't
threes.
tell him to stop shooting threes. That's the NBA.
That doesn't make him trash because he plays really good defense and he can dunk on anybody in the league. So he's definitely not trash. That was a good trade for them.
Came out starting good, but he hasn't been looking too good as of late.
I feel that.
You're right.
I'll give you that.
Not an all-star.
Not even close.
Well,
Other than that, it's really there's no one. Who do you got? You got the old man. What's his name?
Millsap.
The power forward. I forget his name.
I already got you, Millsap.
Millsap. Yep. Millsap.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Austin Rivers. That's who they signed. Austin Rivers. He's going to be coming to make a difference.
Well, Denver's going out in the first. Denver's going out in the first round. So
there's your
MVP's not going to carry them past the first round of the playoffs.
There's your MVP.
Because they already had a good position before that, and they kind of just stayed where they were. So I give him props on that. Listen, man, Jokic definitely deserves the respect for being there and being in the MVP race. But I think what Steph Curry did was amazing. So, Jokic was solid all year. He stayed, doing the same thing all year. But what Steph Curry did, especially the last couple months, man, was amazing. And Golden State would have been one of the worst teams in the league if it wasn't for Steph Curry doing what he did.
100%. They would be in the lottery
Denver
again.
Nuggets, man. You think they took Jokic off? You think if they took Jokic off, you think that would be a 3 seed? They probably wouldn't even have made the playoffs.
I mean, you take the best player off any team, they're not going to be.
Playoffs.
You take the best player off any team, they're not going to be up there.
It's usually the way it works.
You think Michael Porter Jr. is going to carry him to a playoff spot?
No,
not a chance. Jokic sets him up. He sets him up for those.
Well, let's not act like Jamal Murray missed the whole season. He's only he missed the last month and a half.
He carried him for 2 months. Thank you, Kevin.
That's a long time.
Kevin, we appreciate the call, brother. You have a good one, bro.
No. Jokic is going to win the MVP, clear as day.
All right.
And everyone else wants to have another opinion, saying this and that. He's going to win it. It's going to be unanimous.
Okay, now you're doing too much.
It won't be unanimous.
Now you're doing too much. Now you've gone too far. You've done too much again.
It will be close.
There's only one unanimous ever, and that was Steph Curry.
And it was unanimous. Jokic is not in the unanimous situation.
They look at the votes already. Jokic got all the first place votes. Chris Broussard.
Chris Broussard. Don't ever mention Chris Broussard as your first as your first
choice. That's your number one pick, Chris Broussard.
All right. I should have mentioned Nick Wright.
Oh gosh,
that's your guy.
That's
Nick
even
Wright.
worse.
I don't know if it's worse than Broussard, but it's pretty bad. Let's
Max
stay.
Kellerman. There you go.
I like Max. He's a boxing guy.
He's a boxing guy.
All right, Kevin, man, we appreciate it, and call in when your man wins.
There you go. Or when he loses.
Y'all be good.
All right, Kevin.
Take care.
We appreciate Kevin from Chicago giving us a call all the time right here. But let's go back to the playing game, man. Let's go back to the NBA, the playing game. Lakers versus Golden State. I think it's going to be a hugely rated game as far as TV viewing. So that's Wednesday night. I believe it's 6 or 7 o'clock. In LA, there's going to be some fans there. I'm excited about this game. I mean, the playing game. So whoever loses the 7-8 plays the winner of the 9 and 10.
Yeah.
So 9 and 10 have to win 2 games to get into the playoffs.
That's right.
The 7 and 8, they just need to win 1 out of 2.
That's right.
So this isn't a do or die game for either the Lakers or the Warriors. And Warriors just
it kind of is in terms of seeding though. So like
in terms of seeding, but it's not do or die as far as
don't put yourself in a position.
You want to play Utah or Phoenix? It doesn't matter. Those are the same teams, and I think Lakers handle Utah or Phoenix.
Yeah,
I think Golden State, the way Steph's playing right now, you still have championship. Him and Draymond, you still have a championship caliber squad. Like they've been there before.
Who would you?
Phoenix has not been.
Who would you rather them play? If you were Golden State, would you say, hey, we'd rather actually play Utah
I
versus...
think they would rather play Phoenix for the fact that I feel like Utah is bigger. They don't have anybody to compete with Gobert. And I think that's Golden State's problem. They don't have... I mean, DeAndre Ayton too, though. But Golden State's not a very big team.
No.
But then defensively, who stops Steph?
On either of those.
On either team.
Yeah.
I think Devin Booker's a better defender than... I'm not sure. I think that's interesting, but Golden State has a chance. So 7 and 8 could advance, and I'm not sure if we've ever seen 7 and 8 advance in the playoffs before.
To
the second round.
Oh, you mean the second round? Yeah.
I'm not sure if we've seen that before.
Not in the NBA.
That'll be very interesting to see. Nobody wants to see the Lakers. You saw the Clippers throwing games, sitting everybody out to make sure they weren't that third seed, which they gave it to Denver. Denver threw the game last night, playing against Portland. I don't know, man. What do you think about this playing game? Are Lakers going to win or lose?
I think the Lakers win. But again, like I said, it comes. So if the Lakers win, they got Phoenix, which then puts them head up with a team with a great point guard. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I feel like they would do much better against Utah, and that puts a heck of a ton of a pressure on Utah out the gate, playing against the supposed champions or the last year's champion. Yeah. So I think that they would probably want to lose, but to your point, well, to my point too, like if you lose on purpose, you got to win the next one. Don't lose on purpose and then mess around and lose to the 9th.
I don't think
seed.
either of these teams are losing on purpose as far as the play-in.
Okay.
You don't want to play another. You don't want to take the chance of losing and having a hot, Ja Morant come in or whoever. I don't even know who plays.
Yeah.
The fact that San Antonio is there after getting rid of Aldridge, and I mean, the fact that's San Antonio for you. They're still in contention.
DeMar DeRozan, they're still holding
it down.
In
contention for a playoff spot. So I think that says a lot for just that franchise in general. No matter how bad they are, they're still going to be right there. Especially when you look at their team compared to the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Pelicans on paper, you got Eric Bledsoe, you got Alonzo, you got Brandon Ingram, you got Zion. Listen, man, on paper they should be way better. They should be better than Memphis. And
should be, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think Lakers or Golden State lose to Memphis. Golden State has a bigger chance of getting upset to against Memphis or San Antonio. But yeah, I don't think either team loses to face Utah or Phoenix. I don't think they care. They just want to get in. So you want to win to get in. And Lakers don't want to take their chances of playing another game that's not a playoff game and get hurt.
Messing around. I think my Wizards take care of the Celtics. That's all I have to say about the East. We'll move on from there.
And Celtics, I mean, they're hurt.
Yeah.
They're hurt.
I talked to PJ Washington.
Without Jaylen Brown being there, man, I think that's a big deal that Jaylen's out.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been a great game having Jaylen there. But, yeah, he's out for the year. I think it's better for them not to make the playoffs. If I were them, I would almost throw that game. Like, I don't want to be here.
Shoot, but then now your coach is probably going to get fired.
He won't get fired.
If they don't make the play, if they lose all the way out,
they love Brad Stevens. He's not getting fired.
Interesting.
He's not getting fired. But we'll see. But, I mean, that was a big game yesterday against the Hornets. So now they don't have to be a 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Washington's able to be right there and be in the 7-8 spot. So, like you said, they just have to win one, and then they get the 7 seed. And then, Boston has to figure out, if they play Hornets
and then Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
Hornets and Indiana is 9 and 10.
Woo. It's going to be fun, man. I think it makes it more interesting. Do you like the play-in?
I like it. It's another conversation, and it gives a chance. It gives a team a chance that maybe they just weren't there all year. Like the Wizards. The Wizards have been gangbusters for about the last month and a half. If we could play any kind of defense, we'd be fine, because we can score with anybody. You can say that they do score the basketball.
Yeah.
If they could defend the basketball, then they actually could be a decent team. That's the struggle. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right.
Miss Bree, what
do we got next?
What you got next?
All right.
I put you back on the spot.
It's okay. So we're going to go to the fights.
UFC 262.
Yeah. Were you surprised over the results in the Oliveira Chandler fight? And are you guys excited to see what's coming in the next month?
Chandler Oliveira. So it looked like Chandler had him.
Oh my goodness!
In the first round,
multiple times.
He was. I mean, and he got out of a chokehold from Oliveira, which no one gets out of that. So I mean, his wrestling is amazing. And then he started pounding on him. He got out of that.
Chandler did.
Got up. Chandler started pounding on Oliveira. Looked like he could have almost ended him in the first round.
Yes.
He didn't do it. Second round comes. Oliveira put hands on him. Knocks out Chandler. Dana White's baby.
Dana,
I mean,
your boy.
he went from Bellator to fighting one fight in the UFC before he got a title shot. Shot. What's that say about where Chandler is? And listen, he did look really good in the first round. So everyone's saying like, oh, he's not good. I mean, I thought he looked really good. I think he messed up by not taking advantage. A lot of times fighters think the ref's going to stop it and they slow down. Yeah. You cannot slow down. I think Chandler did.
Until he slows you down and stops you. I think this, because the funny thing was before the fight, Chandler was saying, I don't think he has the gas tank to last 5 rounds with me. Meaning Oliveira, he's not going to be able to hang with me for 5 rounds. I don't think he can do it. And then it ended up being him, not necessarily the gassed out, but he looks very much, he's very similar to Conor in that way of explosive first rounds. And then if he doesn't get that stoppage in the first 2 to 3 rounds, it starts to go the other way. Because, the person has essentially weathered the storm.
Yeah.
And so it was interesting because that first round, if you go back and watch the highlights, there's no reason that Oliveira's the champion right now. Like watching the highlights on ESPN and then going back and watching the fight, like there's no reason that he shouldn't have won that.
But at the same time, you have to win the fight.
Yeah.
You can't let off the gas. And,
right.
I think that's something that happened. And seeing how happy Oliveira was when he won the fight, he's been in the UFC for 11 years. That's the longest it's ever taken somebody to win a championship as far as somebody that actually won.
Yeah.
The road to winning a belt. And he was in the lower division before. So, I mean, he just wasn't doing good there. He moved up to lightweight, and now he's the lightweight champion. Habib obviously was the champion and gave up the belt when he retired.
Finally.
But the lightweight division is crazy right now. So now you still have Chandler, who wants another shot at the title. But I don't think he's getting one anytime soon because, you have Gaethje still sitting there waiting.
That's true.
For something. You have Conor and Dustin Poirier that are fighting in July. So does the winner of that fight get to fight Oliveira, or does Gaethje get to fight Oliveira?
Man, that's I see. You forget about Gaethje. You do, and Gaethje even kind of came out and said something about that a few months back and was basically saying, hey, like, I don't know if I want to say something and make people upset, but like, why don't I say something?
Mm-hmm.
But all the talk has been that, the winner of Poirier-McGregor is going to be fighting the champion. Because remember, the Poirier-McGregor fight originally was supposed to be for the title, but Habib kind of kept stalling long enough to not give that.
It wasn't
fight.
Supposed to be, but they talked about should it be.
Yeah.
And it never was.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, the Gaethje conversation is definitely something to be had because he only lost to Habib.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, recently, yeah.
But I mean, that was his last fight.
Yeah.
Like people have fought 3 and 4 times since then.
Yeah.
That was like what? October?
Something like that. But
somewhere,
I mean, Connor's fought, Conor and Dustin fought once since then. So it's not like there's been a lot of fights. But yeah, I mean, who else can Gaethje fight right now? And I think that's kind of where they're at. I think he has to get the title shot. But then again, if Poirier beats Conor again, then he's number 1.
Yeah. So
does he get the shot? And I think there's a case for both of them. And then who goes from there? I mean, does McGregor try to move to another division again?
Yeah.
If he loses, do him and I don't think he wants to mess with the wrestler though. Do him and Chandler fight, which would be a blockbuster fight because they're still trying to hype up Chandler.
Yeah.
And I think Dana White probably is upset Chandler lost.
Oh yes.
Because they wanted him to be like the next great fighter. He's 35 years old already. Oh. You don't have a lot of years to make this dude
anything
great.
Yeah.
So will he get a title shot in the next year with all these people in the light heavyweight division? I'm not sure if he'll get another title shot.
Not light heavyweight.
I mean lightweight division. I'm not sure if he'll get another title shot in a year. So then he's 36.
Yeah.
So how much can you hype up this dude? They need him to be champion now.
Yeah.
To be able to throw all these other lightweight guys at him.
You guys think another UFC fighter will step outside of UFC like McGregor did and challenge, boxing or?
Well, look, it's funny because so over the weekend I spoke to my friend Jayleon Love, who's the trainer of Jake and Logan Paul. And we were talking because he's been, like his social media has exploded over the last, few months because of his association, direct association. But with being with Jake Paul now, he's kind of taken on the hat of, oh, I hate MMA fighters and all this other stuff. And so like, that's actually gonna be interesting on my show. But anyway, but yeah, like, so basically a lot of MMA fighters, like, he's like, screw the MMA. And so he had an argument with Tyron Woodley, during the lead up to the fight with Jake and what was the child's name?
The child?
What's his name? What's his name? You know what I'm talking about. That was really, really fat for the fight with Jake Paul.
Oh, you talking about dude from UFC?
Yeah. Now you're blanking. See, everybody's blanking.
Yeah.
Ben Askren.
Ben Askren. Thank you. I was about to say, got knee to the head. But basically, Tyron Woodley, he has now been dropped by the UFC. That just happened. Okay. And Jayleon Love actually had just said that was, he's like, yeah, you haven't been fighting, you haven't been doing anything. And so then he got dropped, and Jay actually felt bad. But I think
he got dropped, but he got a job 3 days later working for the UFC.
Interesting. But I think he has a
here's my
shot.
theory about Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
And did I tell you this already?
No.
So my theory about Tyron Woodley is, can you drop me so it doesn't look like I quit?
Oh.
Because if you get dropped, you're probably feeling a little bit bitter. So he knew he was getting dropped. He knew he wasn't going to be there because now he's a commentator for UFC 3 days later.
Yeah.
So I think
fishy.
it's one of those things like, drop me so I don't have to quit, so it doesn't look like I'm quitting, and just give me another job, because he's right there now commentating at the end of UFC.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of post and pre-fight stuff. So
interesting.
He's still working for the UFC.
Still getting his money. Good for him. But yeah, I think he's probably the first in line because it just makes sense.
Yeah.
It's money there.
Yeah.
It's a big name.
See that.
Now, do you like those crossover events when boxers are fighting UFC
I was
fighters?
so hyped for McGregor to do that. I was super hyped.
Do you like McGregor?
I am a McGregor fan.
Okay, all right. Me and you are good friends then.
Yeah.
Everyone else in the studio isn't.
I like McGregor.
There's a lot of people that love to hate him, I guess, but I'm a huge McGregor fan. So when he did that, I thought, man, like, one, you're stepping out of your element into someone else's element where he can't use all his skill set. He has to stick with just, upright fighting.
Yeah.
No grappling, no using your legs, no nothing. It's different. And to see him do that, I was like, I don't think it would have been the other way around.
Yeah.
I don't think a boxer would get in the octagon. I could be wrong.
No, you're 100% right, because no boxers have done it, and none of them will do it because they'll get dominated in the UFC. There's no boxers that will be able to fight in the UFC.
So I can speak to that directly. Jayleon was like, I would get beat by a woman. Like, he was like, not even a question. Like, he was like, if I hop in the octagon and it's with a woman that this is what she does, he was like, no, I will lose.
Yeah.
Like,
unless you knock her out on the first punch.
Unless I just am a man and dominate her in that way.
No,
but in terms of if it goes to the ground, she will have me tap out.
Yeah.
Like, it's
well, the boxers they've been training for the same thing all the time. They're not ever going to the ground, and if they do, they have 10 seconds to get back up, and you can't hit them.
Yeah.
In the UFC, you go down, you don't have any time to get up because somebody's jumping on you and pounding you as you're on the ground. So you won't ever see a boxer unless he was a boxer and now he's training for MMA for a few years.
Yeah.
Jump into the octagon. You won't ever see that.
Yeah.
Well, even with like Rousey, when I used to watch her fight, I noticed that she would struggle more with people that were more stand-up fighters, because her background is grappling.
Well, she made a mistake by trying to stand up with Holly Holm and with Amanda Nunes.
Yes. Yeah.
And she got
kicked to the face,
knocked out both times,
and knocked out on her feet.
She got annihilated by Amanda.
And her mom did it too. Like, so it's like she comes from generational fighting that way. So it's like, she's better on the ground.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think if she wouldn't have tried to stand up, her career would have lasted a little bit longer.
Yeah. If she wouldn't have, I think she started to believe her own hype in the end. Yeah. Towards the end, she started, because remember, she had a couple knockout fights where she knocked the girl out, and then she started to feel as if hey, I'm an all-around fighter, and is like, no, you're a tap-out artist. You
Yeah.
better keep getting these girls to the ground.
Yeah.
She should have. and who knows, would Holly Holm even be who she is today if she doesn't get that win? You know,
Holy
Yeah.
smokes, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is so
She
true.
would have just been another name on Ronda Rousey's card.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And one more thing in the UFC, Dana White is saying he doesn't really care what John Jones does now.
Yes, I saw that.
He's looking at other heavyweight fights. Ngannou and Derek Lewis again. Stipe's still there, hasn't retired yet, but people keep thinking he might retire. Dana's saying he doesn't care because I think John Jones keeps playing these games. I don't know if John knows what he wants to do. He was out there in New Mexico. He's been training.
Yeah.
So he's definitely bigger. Chaos put a picture up because Chaos has been in New Mexico, so he had a picture with him.
Yeah.
John Jones, Holly Holm, a lot of other UFC fighters fighting out there in Albuquerque. So Jones is definitely bigger. Like, he didn't look like a light heavyweight.
Yeah.
He looked like heavyweight. So is he just playing games to make money, or is there something else going on with him where mentally he doesn't think he could keep going in light heavyweight, and in heavyweight maybe Ngannou is too big and too tough for him?
I'll say this. So first, we've seen how much money John Jones has made on his fights. We've looked at the numbers, and it's atrocious. For you to say that, okay, this is the greatest fighter, because Dana has said this, he's the greatest fighter, even recently, John Jones is the greatest fighter of all time. So for you to claim that that's your greatest fighter, now, we're not bringing all his outside the ring stuff into it as well, but for your greatest fighter, for his biggest fights to be $600,000, $700,000 for him to win, and that's all he's getting, John Jones has every right to look at Conor McGregor, look at some of the other fighters now and say, hey, look, I want my money.
Yeah.
And that's not unfair. Now, at the same time, I think John Jones is playing this perfectly because outside of a Derek Lewis and Ngannou fight, outside of a Stipe rematch, there aren't a whole lot of heavyweights that really have a shot or have a voice to say, hey, do you even know who I am if I raise my hand? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I feel like it's posturing from both sides personally, but I do think that fight should happen, and John Jones should fight whoever he wants to fight. He's freaking John Jones.
Yeah, but at the same time, are you going to let him try to run things because he has had so many problems in the UFC, and you've given him
shots,
opportunities to make up for things he's done outside the octagon, and you've still given him chance after chance. So do you let somebody like that,
kind of call his own number,
call his own shots?
Yeah, that's to be said as well. And like I said, his money could have also been impacted greatly because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with Daniel Cormier retiring and all that, I feel like he's
but there still are a lot of good fights. I mean, you have Ngannou, Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis has been coming up like crazy, and he's a personality. So
Rosenstrike,
even seeing if John Jones fought someone like Derek Lewis, like that's a big fight just because of the personality.
Sure.
And him fighting Ngannou. Ngannou's obviously the champion right now. Or him fighting Stipe. So give Derek Lewis the shot at the title.
Yeah.
Have John Jones fight Stipe. Whoever wins that gets the title shot.
Yeah.
But if John Jones is moving up to heavyweight, I think he wants an immediate title shot. But is he ready for Ngannou?
Listen.
Does he want that to be his first heavyweight fighter? Does he need to fight somebody else
just to see what it's about?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
Could Blachowicz move up to heavyweight? He's a big light heavyweight.
He's a big dude. He is a big dude.
So he could eventually move up to heavyweight as well. So
yeah, we'll see. Bree, what else you got?
Move on to music is what I got.
All right. So we're on to pop culture.
We are on to pop culture. So J. Cole just dropped a new album, and the younger generation is definitely picking up on his vibe, right?
yeah.
He's reaching out to the younger generation. Interesting, because he's not much younger than me, I don't think.
Yeah, he's our age.
I'm 39. I don't think he's much younger than me. But yeah, so what do you guys think? Do you guys think he's overrated, underrated?
right where he needs to be.
Right where he needs to be.
What do
So
you think?
here's why I'll say he's overrated, because his fan base will call his album a classic album before they even push play.
Did you? No, I didn't repost it. Where he's like, it's like, what do you mean? How I loved it? Like, like, did you like?
Do you
it?
think that's comes
do I
from
love it?
social media push? Like social media
I think it's just
hype?
his fan base. I mean, a lot of fan bases will do that. Anything Eminem drops, his fan base, before they even hear it,
Fire.
oh, this is so dope.
Fire.
They're ready for it to be dope, so they'll just say it's dope automatically. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
so-
And I think that's the problem. And I like J. Cole a lot. I think he is overrated because his fan base will act like he's saying stuff that no one's ever said before.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's so,
Yeah.
wow.
He's so deep.
And listen, he is dope. He's dope at what he does. Like he's especially for this generation of hip hop. Like he's definitely one of those artists that is talking about something, right?
He's
Yes.
a conscientious artist for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. But I think he's overrated for the fact that sometimes they overhype his lines where I listen to it, I'm like, that was a dope line, but it's not like nobody has
It's not
said
the
anything
most
like that before.
thought-provoking
You know what I'm
line of
saying?
all time. I'll say this. I think he's good. I think he's very good. But in a generation where people are rapping like like all the time, it's very easy to stand out. So the way I look at it right now, you know, when you compare eras, when you compare hip hop to, you know, 90s, early 2000s, 80s even, everyone had a sound.
Yeah.
Everyone had their own personal sound. You know, you turn someone on, you're like, oh, that's so and so, and you
Yes,
immediately
it's
know.
distinctive.
You know what
for
I'm
sure.
saying? Whereas now, like, I can listen to 5 different rappers and they all sound the same. Similar beats,
Yep.
similar cadence.
Yeah.
Everything's the same. So J. Cole, and then why am I blanking
Yeah,
on?
Kendrick.
Thank you. That was exactly.
You got a
Perfect,
handful
yeah.
of artists that are actually rapping these
Yes.
days and actually talking about something instead of
Yes.
just trying to make a club hit or
Yep.
something catchy for the radio.
Yes,
Yeah.
and outside of Kendrick and J. Cole, there's really not that many that are in the younger generation that are actually doing it. Now, you want to talk about Jay-Z and Eminem and all those guys that are still doing it. That's different. But the younger guys, that's all there really is. So
Yeah.
I think he's good, and it's a classic for his fans. Let's just say that. We can put it just if you leave it in
You
those
can't, you
terms.
can't call it a classic when it's been out for 2 days. And that's
is
my problem
true.
too. They
It
throw
takes-
around that word
man,
classic like it's
classic's got to be seasoned.
yeah.
I think
I feel that too.
classic needs to be seasoned.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't hip hop, but Fleetwood Mac wasn't classic till, decades, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
really. And,
That's true.
I mean, it takes time to be seasoned to be considered classic.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't personally really listen to his music, but I've listened to a lot of his interviews, and like you were saying, like I appreciate like his level of how can I say, he's just cognitively aware of things, like like that. So I'm sure that's what his music touches on too, is that conscious that he brings to the table, elevated vibes and all that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
his interviews are what get me.
Yeah.
I personally haven't really listened to much of his music, but
And J. Cole had his basketball debut in the Basketball Africa League yesterday. 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists, something like that.
Yeah, and I think it was like.
And there was
15,
people in the
15 or
comment
16
section
minutes.
making fun of J. Cole only scoring 3 points in his professional basketball debut. And I would go in the ESPN, comment section and click on some of these pictures making fun of him. And there's some people that I know could not score 3 points in the YMCA pickup game, making fun of him. So listen, this dude is not only dropping a dope album this past weekend. It was the album of the week for sure.
The album
Maybe
of
the
the
album of the year. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
the
it's-
top album when it dropped.
Yeah. Whoa, wait a minute. Nicki Minaj just dropped as well. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
but
Josh
he
got excited about that.
comes from a basketball background though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
he's
he
been playing
played. He
basketball. So
played.
the fact that you can make fun of
Yeah.
somebody living their dream,
Yeah.
he's playing basketball. I don't care where he's playing. It's a new basketball league. It's their
Yeah.
first inaugural season.
Yeah.
He's playing, and he got
The
some
first
minutes.
inaugural.
First inaugural. First annual.
I know you hate that.
I hate first annual. It's their inaugural season. So, I mean, look, he played basketball. He got to play professionally. And you couldn't even get up because you couldn't afford your YMCA gym membership. So,
No, I think that's dope. That's a social construct to put an age on things, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like if he's doing his thing over there, like we should be applauding that. Like cool, like he achieved both of his dreams.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
on
Like,
the highest level on
Because
both.
he
both
could
of
have
them.
went either way, right? You know, with his background, he could have just kept pursuing basketball over music or whatnot. And for you to still be able to do both, that's cool, you know?
The coolest part about that, Quan, was in the warm-ups, he was able to vibe out and warm up to his own music.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's the first time that's ever happened on a basketball court.
I wouldn't say that. I'm
Master
sure.
P?
I'm sure Shaq listened to his own music.
No, I mean like in the arena.
You don't think they played Shaq's music in L.A.?
I don't think it's the same effect.
Listen, everybody else was like, turn that nonsense off.
There's people that like
Turn it
Shaq
off.
music. Shaq was very smart when he made music because he had some really great features.
Do you want me to shoot it?
He had Biggie on
there.
there. He had a Biggie on the song.
He did.
And that song was dope.
Shaq, listen, Shaq and Flo. I'm not gonna hate. I'm not hating on Shaq at all.
He's all right.
He's all right.
He's all right. But that's the thing. I mean, he definitely was listening to his own music.
That's
Cedric
probably true.
Sabalas?
No, not in arena, Quan.
I guarantee they played it in Phoenix.
And again, the other players were like, if you don't turn this nonsense off.
It was a dope song. He had Warren G on it.
It was still a little Disney for me. I'm gonna like,
What was Shaq?
yeah, like I remember him coming out with all that, but it was a little Disney for me. But I mean, I think you should touch out on all crafts anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm not hating on it.
Don't limit yourself.
Yeah, don't limit yourself. Like, who cares? Like, if that's what you want to do, you want to check that box. Like, hey, I did that. You know what I mean? Like, cool, do it. And it worked for him because commercially, like you said, it still took off.
Well,
Like,
Shaq's
it
about
makes-
making money.
platinum.
And you can
It's
see what
platinum.
Shaq's doing right now, even with doing every commercial they offer him.
Everything.
Yeah.
Shaq is about making some money. I don't
Yeah.
care what you think. I'm
Yeah.
going to make this money. I'm going
Mhm.
to act in this commercial. I'm going to act in this bad movie.
I'm gonna be goofy.
And I'm going to make money doing it all.
Mhm.
So you can't hate on somebody doing that.
What's a box you still have to check, Quan? What's something that you still want to do?
Oh, I don't know.
Come on, give me something.
I don't know.
Bree, what you got? Something that you want.
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot I wanted to do that I didn't. I wanted to be in the NBA.
No, box today. We can't be. We're not going back to the
But
league.
what I'm saying is we're talking about people that did stuff.
I don't know.
I don't know why you.
Ireland's having their
I'm
first
trying to.
inaugural
Go ahead.
year. You signing up?
I want to get my pilot's license. There you go.
Okay.
Dope.
There you go.
What's-
I'm doing everything I want to do.
There,
Quan,
go
give
get
me
it.
Something. Go bungee jumping. Something.
No, I don't want to do that. Why would I do something I don't want to do? Why
I'm
you're
just-
trying to force stuff
no,
on
I'm
me that
just,
I don't
I'm
want to
just,
do?
no, I'm just giving you something.
I don't want to do that.
Give me something.
I don't. There's nothing else I want to do. I'm doing everything.
He's living
You're
it
living
right
your
now.
life. You're living your
He's
full
living it
life.
right now.
Yeah,
All right, fair enough.
I'm good.
Bree, what you got?
I definitely want to travel
Okay.
a lot, and
Okay.
I would like to travel with my brand more. You know, but like as a personal accomplishment, creatively, probably like an audiobook of spoken word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And you just recorded some spoken word.
I-
There you go.
Did
Are you gonna do it for us?
dang. put
Maybe
me on
next
the
time.
spot.
Maybe next
You're
time.
good. You're good.
time.
Don't. You always have to fall into everything. Quan, I have
I'm
you
like,
set
can we
up.
commercial break first, and then I'll come back to that.
She
Yeah.
was stuck. Like, do I have to do this right now? I was like, no.
No, I mean-
if I don't?
Don't
Yeah.
do this. Don't do
it
this.
was cool. It was a cool concept because
Yeah.
it was with my homegirl Squishy. Yeah, cute little name, but she comes hard as hell. She can sound like Wu-Tang, and then she can sing like, you know,
Okay.
like folky. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
she's very diverse in what she does. But yeah, she had me go down there, and I have dopamine tattooed on me. I'm obsessed with like neurotransmitters and mental health advocate big time. So
Nice.
we came up with the concept of a dopamine song. So that's what it was about. So she rapped and sang on it, and then I just did like a little spoken word kind of outro on there.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
That's dope. That
Yeah.
is dope.
What else we have today? We
think
got.
that's it,
we
man.
got to talk about anything else before we get out of here?
I think that's it. A lot of stuff happening in the NFL. They're the rookies are
Yes.
playing the quarterbacks.
The schedule's dropped.
Schedules dropped. I think we talked about that, didn't
No. Remember we didn't have an
we?
episode
I have
last
so
Thursday.
many sports shows.
I know. It
know
starts to
when I
bleed.
talked
It
about
starts
what.
to bleed together.
Yeah.
I can say my team plays 5 of our last 5 games are all divisional games. So we play 5 straight divisional games. It's basically a round robin tournament to
Okay.
see who gets who gets the
gets it.
division.
I think they need to do that now, right?
Oh my goodness.
That bad division.
Ugh, hater.
49ers looks like they're going 14-2 this year.
Oh my! Well, it would have to be 14-3
That's
or
fine.
15-2. Okay, 15-2.
15-2.
Okay, all right, there you go.
Give us one more game this year.
17 now.
This 17 games, I don't like that.
I don't like it, but I will say in terms of now we only got 3 preseason games, so
All right.
it's not bad.
And then I think that looks like it's it. I think we're good right now.
We're good. I think
We're
we're
good.
pretty good.
I need to eat.
All right. Let's get Quan some food.
Bree, thanks for coming through.
Yes. Thank you for having
talking
me.
about
I'm
food.
excited.
But talking about
Yeah.
food,
Oh yes.
We got this dope sponsor here.
Okay, all
that
right.
Reached out. Her brand is called. Let me see if how I can get it in.
Oh, this way.
camera
This way. This camera.
there. Okay, there we
you
go.
go.
La Sureña. She sent us 2 homemade chiles here, or salsa, however you want to call it.
Okay.
I won't tell you guys which one's hotter.
Oh, all right. It's a surprise.
And we're gonna snack on that. I will add her on the tag. I know I tagged her on my story, so if any of you guys want to look it up,
go ahead and mute that
support
mic
small
for Josh.
biz.
Man.
Yeah, if you guys
Whoa,
want
whoa, whoa, whoa.
reach
I was-
out.
I was-
No. Grab the plate.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
There's thousands of dollars over here, Joshua.
This is the real deal.
Give you a couple just to start. It's for on air, man.
Well, I mean, I need the salsa. It's not about the chips.
All right. There we go.
I probably should got a spoon.
Here you go, Bree.
Yeah, there's a spoon over there too. So we're gonna eat on live on there.
Not a lot. We're gonna
Taste
guys are
it.
gonna
We're gonna do a
taste it
taste
and
test
fade
on the
out.
salsa.
Okay,
And if it's really hot, you'll see me fade out first.
it's okay. I'm a nurse. I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you.
Okay, here we go. Let me pour both for you.
All right.
This is what's the name of the salsa?
It's called La Sureña.
Yep,
And
that word.
And I did tag it on my story. So
Oh,
that's a lot.
if you go to at Legendary Empowerment and look at my story, her tag
Okay.
is there. Because I think she has like an underscore or something in it. But yeah, she was so gracious to send these. I don't want to say the word wrong. What is it? Artesian made?
Oh.
Is it artisan made?
We'll go with artesian. It
Okay,
sounds sexier.
Sounds sexier. Okay,
Yeah.
artesian made.
That's how I used to always call it artisan. I went in there. I was like, oh no, it's called the artisan. I was like,
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm
Oh.
I'm
tempted to
not
call
coming here
it
anymore.
artisan because of our hotel, or if that's really the way you say it.
right.
Basically, you know what I'm saying? Old school, traditional, made from scratch. Chile here.
So one's really hot and one's hot
Not
too.
as hot.
They're 2 different flavors. So
Okay,
you know what I
now
mean? You
they
got,
both
you got
look
the
really
green
hot.
and the red if you want to make it simple.
I'm saying that the red is hotter.
She has, I think, about like 13 different ones.
See, there's some red in this green, so I'm gonna say the green's pretty hot. All right, I'm gonna eat the green first.
All right.
Do you know which one's hotter already?
I
She
did.
knows.
I did taste them, but I honestly can't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that red hot as I don't know what.
That green's pretty hot.
You need some milk. I should have brought Pepsid. Gave you guys some
The green's hotter.
omeprazole before.
The green is hotter. Holy
I think so.
smokes.
It's got good flavor though, right?
It's delicious.
Yeah,
It's definitely
Great.
fresh.
it's good.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank
La
you.
Sureña.
Yes, thank you, La Serena, for sending us that. We appreciate that.
No, the green is not as hot.
I felt like it was.
No, the green is definitely sweeter. That's why I knew it.
They're both hot, man. I'm weak. Plus, I need like an enchilada on the side,
Yeah, we definitely.
but really good salsa.
Definitely
really good
Mexican
salsa.
is coming today, for sure.
All right.
I need a chimichanga or something.
I'm gonna go with the
Say
red.
chimichanga again.
I'm gonna go with the red
Chimichanga.
hotter.
Say chimichanga.
You want me to say chimichanga?
Chimichanga.
You guys said the green. I think it's red. I think the red's
Really?
hotter. Hmm
Red-
You know what? I
definitely
think I
hotter.
had
Yeah.
more green on my chip, and then I got scared.
But they both have really good flavors.
Yes.
No, that is really
So
good
if you
salsa.
see how they make this, like the way they make it, you know, they fire the chiles, and then they put them in like the molcajete, like the grinding bowls, break them up like that, all different seasonings in there. So it probably has, I don't know how many different chilies she used in it, but it probably has several different chilies in it. Yeah.
Dope.
Good stuff.
Well, Bree, thanks for coming through.
Thank
so
you for
dope to finally
having
having you
me.
on.
Yes.
So she will be back, folks. So
Thank
you know, all the ladies of Unnamed. We got more coming next week too. You know.
Yes.
So
Miss Alexis is up
Alexis, Tiana's going to be coming up.
I might just be a fly on the wall for that
You
one.
can come in anytime.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Alexis does have a few things to maybe talk about. depending
Oh
on if you have a-
yeah, we're gonna have a dating game next week.
Okay,
Oh,
so no
that's cool.
no interview next week probably.
Yeah, still play a game.
Yeah, we could do both. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll work on it.
We'll get Josh to multitask.
It's hard, man. It's hard. It's a hard life over here.
All right. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Please share the replay of the show. You can share it on YouTube or Facebook. Follow us at Unnamed Sports Show on all social media, and you can follow all of us separately as well. So make sure you check it out. And we are out.